Man, that one will kick your trash. If you do that one on a regular basis, pretty sure it just turns you into a bear. Welcome back to Self-Built. Today I am following the old school train that I've been doing with these videos, and we're going to be doing old school legs on this bad boy. I'm going to be taking you through a couple golden era quad exercises. I mean, it's not just quads. That's the main point that I'm focusing on, but it does involve some glutes and hams as well. I'll be showing some of the bread and butter of good old Arnie and Tom Platz's exercises that they used that you really don't see nowadays. It's very far and few in between, probably because these exercises are difficult. Leg day is already hard as it is, but you know what? Leg day ain't for the weak. So buckle up. I'm going to show you some goodies, a couple tweaks that I like to do that work for me, so you can take it or leave it with those tips. Let's jump into the first one. First exercise, we're going through our front squats. If this doesn't sound familiar, instead of having the bar across your back, you're going to have it across your shoulders. This changes up the dynamics in the weight distribution a little bit. It takes a lot of load off of your lower back from having to hold the weight because it's more in front of you. And when you do that, it shifts the weight and focus more on your quads. The reason that it's so hard is because you're literally holding the weight up with your shoulder. Can be uncomfortable. You might not be strong enough, and it definitely limits the amount of weight that you can lift, so it might hurt your ego a little bit too. At the end of the day, I'm here to fry my legs. I don't care if it's 10 pounds or it's 100 pounds. If I'm burning, getting a good pump, and it's feeling good, then that's good enough for me. I got two tips for you on this. First, I like to use a piece of wood. I like to put my heels on it. Allows me to get deeper, and it puts even more stress on my quads. And I also like to use a bench just to touch on. Lets me know that I'm at proper depth. Also, it's a great safety measure in case for any reason that I fail, or if I just want to sit for a minute, get some rest, then pump out a couple extra reps. And for me, if I'm doing an exercise that doesn't feel safe, I'm not going to do it and I'm not going to push hard. So that cures those for me. If this is a new exercise, or if you just haven't done it in a long time, you need to get the technique down, start light, get the feel of it, and then start to add weight on. Something you'll quickly realize is it's hard to do really long sets because your shoulders start to give out. I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of talking while I'm actually holding the weight. We'll see. Usually I just kind of need to focus and get some reps in. Since I'm doing lighter weight, I like to go much slower on the way down. That's typically how I like to do training anyways, but it helps maximize whatever weight that you're using, and it helps you just feel it a lot better. Then just get my heels up right here, and then I'll just lower. I'm not able to get 100% parallel with my bench, but to have that safety measure, it's worth it. I'll just do a couple extra reps, and that's fine with me. Plus, need to save a little bit of juice to be able to re-rack it. With my racks, they're not built in, they're attachable. So if you come in hot and if you're misaligned, you're going to be in trouble because they're going to completely move and you're going to have to bail. Those feel awesome. One of the perks is if you keep very good technique, your back is basically straight up and down. You might bend over it very slightly, but it helps take some of the stress off of that. Another nice thing is if you do get in the position where you need to bail, it's pretty easy just to drop the weight. Know exactly where it's going instead of having to dump it off of you. Makes it a little safer in that sense. And as far as effectiveness, I feel it in my quads a ton. It feels really good. And I haven't done these exercises in a long time. Being able to put my tweaks of the piece of wood and the bench in, those were the pieces that I needed, because otherwise I felt like I was bending over more. It just didn't feel that great because I didn't have that mobility in my ankles. So that really helps a lot. So if you have any of those same issues, try it out. It's a lot of fun. Second lost and forgotten exercise is none other but the Zercher Squat. Good old Mr. Zercher. I could do a video on just his exercises, which, hey, if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below. He's come up with a lot of exercises. Unfortunately, they're not really used a whole lot, but I'll be bringing this one back to life for you guys. This will have one similarity with front squats, and that's just because the weight is going to be in front of you. Instead of resting it on your shoulders or your upper chest or your back, it's going to be rested on your elbows, in your forearms, and that makes it feel way different. With this one, I'm not going to use anything like a piece of wood or a bench. You definitely can, but I'm going to change it up, show that you don't need it, even if you don't have that great ankle mobility. One of the biggest downfalls is the bar. If you're using more and more weight, it really digs into your arms and it doesn't feel that great. And I'm definitely one that doesn't care if there's discomfort or pain, but if it starts to distract from your technique and how much weight you're able to do, then that's where I start to care a little bit. So if you've got a towel or any kind of pad, this will be nice just to kind of save and keep your mind where it should be, which is the working muscles and not, ow, this hurts. I mean, I totally get it. Mental toughness is definitely good though. So if you don't need this, hey, you win, good job. What we're gonna be doing is gonna be cradled in our arms, and we're gonna squat down, keep your back nice and upright, and then just come back up with it. Same routine as last. If you're new or haven't done this in a very long time, go nice and easy, work your way up. I've already done a bunch of warm-up sets just to kind of get the technique down, feel what weight feels appropriate. One thing I'll say is this is a good exercise to do at least second, just because you're limited by how much weight you can hold, and typically your legs are stronger than your arms. So if I didn't do that first exercise, I might be thinking it's a little lackluster. So I'll just hold it like this, step out. I'll go a little bit wider just to change up the foot placement a little bit. And then you can just come down. Something cool is you can kind of use your legs as a stopping point. So I mean right here, the bar's resting on my legs. I can't go anymore. So if this is okay, you kind of got your own little built-in safety squat. Oof. Oof. Bad thing is though, if you start sweating, the pad gets a little slippery. Oof. 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 Whew. Yeah, definitely feeling that. And this does give you a little bit more of a natural squat feel. And this one does feel basically like you're doing that same squat motion, except you just got the weight in front of you. So you'll still feel it in your lower back a little bit, but it's a goodie for sure. Man, that one will kick your trash. If you do that one on a regular basis, pretty sure it just turns you into a bear where you're just strong with everything. Definitely one that will whoop your booty if you're pushing it. Last one I'm going to show you guys are sissy squats. This is something that is definitely not forgotten in this gym. I use them a lot because they're so convenient and so intense, but in commercial gyms, you really don't see it a lot, which is unfortunate. I'll show you the traditional way that they do it, and then I'll show you the fun way that I like to do it that just makes it more enjoyable for me, and I feel like I get a better workout. I'm pretty sure when they decided to name this exercise, they wanted to keep the gains to themselves and name it something like sissy, so people would be like, oh, I'm too manly for that. Can't even think about it. But secretly, it's gonna give you insane cuts, beefiness, and a really good workout. The traditional way is you'll hang onto a squat rack or a barbell, just something that's nice and sturdy that you're able to do kind of like a pendulum swing a little bit. Usually you want to keep your foot placement pretty close together. I like to have them close but toes out. Just feels like you get a little bit extra squeeze, but see what feels best for you. There's a little caution that I will share with you once I get set up. Keep your hips locked. If it helps, just flex your butt cheeks the whole time. And as you go and descend, make sure you keep that under control, because this is where you're gonna reach some territory where you're gonna find out how flexible your knees are. And if they're not, or if they're just not feeling great that day, you don't wanna find out the wrong way. So you're just gonna wanna be under control. I mean, it helps you get a better workout anyway, so I don't understand why you wouldn't wanna do that, but just keep it nice and easy and don't force it. If you ever feel like your knee is feeling stressed or stretched in a funny way, then simply change up your foot stance, don't go as deep, or move to something else and come back a later day. So this is an absolute great workout. It's basically like a poor man's leg extension. Yeah. So there's the old school way. Next, I'll show you one set of my other one. Okie doke. The way I like to do it is I will get, you can call it a pull-up belt, squat belt, a belt with a chain attached to it is what we're going for. Nice and tight. And then I'll also wrap a chain around my squat rack. And then what I'm going to do is attach. With having all this length here, depending on my foot placement, I'm able to have more customization of how much of an arc or swing goes into this movement. But not just that, the biggest thing is me being lazy. I don't want to have to hang on to the bar. I want the bar to hang on to me. So that's what we're going to go for. So I'll go for like the same stance. Sometimes if I'm feeling really lazy, I'll attach some handles onto here, so that way I don't even have to balance. I mean, geez, hard life over here. But I'll just go down. Remember, keep those glutes tight so that way your hips aren't going anywhere. It gives it maximum stretch on your quads. Go down nice and controlled, as low as you're able to comfortably go, and come back on up. And then you can kind of readjust as you're filling it out. But with this one, I'm able to go a lot deeper, and the load seems to be even more comfortable. Oof. Yeah, this one, I like this way a little bit more. But man, both of them, I mean, after everything we've already done, it doesn't take much for them just to be sizzling. And a cool thing you can do if you want to do sort of a drop set is unlock your hips, so that way it's a little bit more of like a leg press instead of such a leg extension. So if you really want to burn it out, you can add those tips to it. All right, ladies and germs, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed these forgotten and old school workouts. If you've never seen these exercises, or if this has inspired you to want to try them again, let me know in the comments below. And what are your favorite old school exercises for legs that you just don't see people do? The great thing about working out is there's such a huge variety of exercises that we can do, and it's a great idea to cycle through some, keep it fresh, keep it fun, and keep chasing those old school gains. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do me a favor and watch one of these videos over here. And to punch one more ticket on that gain train, don't forget to tune in to more self-built.